I remember the first time I heard like a far-right organisation say gay agenda. So everybody here familiar with the gay agenda? We say it a lot in Northern Ireland. So people would say, oh, this is the gay agenda, lead our kids astray, poison their minds, recruit more gays. The first time I heard gay agenda, I thought they meant like a literal agenda, you know, like for the day. So I heard someone says gay, and I was like, could I get a copy of that? Because what? That wasn't given to me when I came out, you know. I thought it was like, you wake up at 9, you know, you go to brunch at 10, you kiss girls at 12. I was like, I'm absolutely all over that. I'm Emer Maguire. I am a comedian. Parents are very proud. I'm a musical comedian. And ironically for a comedian, I'm very shy. I'm okay like this in front of quite a lot of people because I totally just disassociate. But kind of one-on-one interactions, I find more difficult. Like the dinner last night, lovely food. Hated the experience, but lovely, lovely food. And I find that difficult because I have a diagnosis of autism, which I'm sure everybody will know by now is a neurodevelopmental social communication condition. Some people say disorder. Condition makes you feel a bit less bad about yourself. So I have my iPad here because I've quite a lot of memory problems. One time I was doing a show and I had my iPad and they were like, what were you doing? Were you watching Netflix or something? Or were you? So just to let you know that's why it's there. So I'm going to give you a bit of a whistle-stop tour of how it feels to be autistic through some stories and some songs. Tell you a wee bit about myself before you can all go out to the freedom of the bar. So people said to me my whole life, you're a wee bit quirky. Anybody else here quirky? Quite a few, I can tell. You're a wee bit quirky, and I know they mean weird. And I'm like, you're a wee bit rude. And in recent years, people have changed it from quirky to socially awkward. I prefer to think of it as awkwardly social, you know, socially awkward. And I think it's really funny, and my family think it's funny that I fell into comedy. I had a real job. I was actually a speech and language therapist. I fell into comedy accidentally, and my family think it's hilarious because I don't really like people, do you know? So it's kind of... it's funny doing this. So if you're autistic, being different is one of the main things, as people probably know. It's one of the things that stands out to me, and specifically, I don't think like everybody else. For me specifically, I am really literal, okay? Extremely literal, and this, my dad was so confused. He thought I was saying liberal. He's like, and that's because you're autistic. So extremely literal. It's been an issue my entire life, okay? I remember the first time I heard like a far-right organisation say gay agenda. So everybody here familiar with the gay agenda? We say it a lot in Northern Ireland. So people would say, oh, this is the gay agenda, lead our kids astray, poison their minds, recruit more gays. The first time I heard gay agenda, I thought they meant like a literal agenda, you know, like for the day. So I heard someone says gay, and I was like, could I get a copy of that? Because what? That wasn't given to me when I came out, you know. I thought it was like, you wake up at 9, you know, you go to brunch at 10, you kiss girls at 12. I was like, I'm absolutely all over that. Even this week, I don't know if you have it here in England, but I saw a lorry, big truck, and it said on the side, buy 4 pets online. And I was like 4 is in the number, and I spent all day being like, what 4 pets would I get? Right? What pets would I go for? And I went on the website, right? And I have 2 dogs, so I went on the website, and the homepage was like, pick your pet, right? And it gave like cats, dogs, horses, fish, birds, reptiles. And I was like, isn't technology amazing these days? I was like, this time tomorrow, I could have like a horse, a cockatoo, a goldfish, a lizard. And I was really excited and told my best friend about it. And she was like, it's buy 4 pets, you idiot. It's buy 4 your pets. You click on the animals and it shows you the related product. And I was like, I don't know. I think there could be... I was like, if they're not doing it, they're missing a trick. We could go to Dragon's Den. So even, even as a kid, I thought people called the toilet the restroom because that's where you'd have a rest. So whenever autistic people go to the bathroom all the time, and it's not usually to go to the bathroom, it's to have a rest from social situations. So anytime when I was wee and someone's like, would you like to use the restroom? I was like, I could do with a rest right now. I would love that. So because I'm so literal, I've always had big issues understanding idioms. The weird sayings that people say. And one of the examples people give for autism is if you say pull up your socks and an autistic person doesn't know the phrase, they'll pull up their socks. I couldn't even tell you what I thought beat around the bush meant, but I it's like, is that on the gay agenda or is that something else? So my ma loves an idiom, right? Not my father. Well, he is an idiom as well. My ma loves an idiom. And I remember saying them over time, and I started to write them down because I never understood them. She said to me one time, your dad has bigger fish to fry, right? And I was like, my dad can't cook. What do you mean? One time she said, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I, horrified from a moral point of view, absolutely. But logistically, I was like, that's quite impressive. If you were like, how, that's quite impressive. And I have a best friend, a straight best friend, called Michaela, and she said to me during the week, I don't know if you have this saying here, but she said to me, sure, it's as broad as it's long. And I thought, Jesus, I hope it's not. Do you know what I mean? So when I hear these idioms and I hear these old sayings, I think, who came up with these? What were their reasonings? So I've collected some of the sayings that I hate the most, and I've put them into a song. Hear that okay? Let the cat out of the bag, it will suffocate. And why crocodile tears have crocs been depressed of late? Then we'll paint the town red, I'm being told. When I used home base online, all the other paint was sold. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I hope they mean a tiny wren or a robin at a push. A kettle of fish, tea, omega-3 addition. The cat has got your tongue, well that's clearly a euphemism. We say these things that make no sense, and I am so confused. Why can't we all say what we mean and not no longer be bemused? Why is everything clouded by mirrors and smoke? I'm always last to get the message, get the meaning, get the joke. You say break a leg before I go on stage. It sounds more like a threat, and I'd rather not engage. Someone's got my goat, well that just sounds illegal. She eats like a bird, you've clearly never met a seagull. By the skin of your teeth, it's technically enamel. If you've skin in place of teeth, then you're technically a camel. You say my ears are burning, do I have an infection? People even say bizarre things which mean affection, like you're quite the pair, a match made in heaven. 2 peas in a pod, even though pea pods have 11. Take my breath away, I would rather not. Asphyxiation is a crime for which one could be caught. We say these things that make no sense, and I am so confused. Why can't we all say what we mean and not no longer be bemused? Why is everything clouded by mirrors and smoke? I'm always last to get the meaning, get the message, get the joke. And now, as they say, all good things come to an end. So the song could go on forever, but that's not what I intend. And so it's curtain call over just like that. And so it's not a sandwich or a pita or a foot long. It's a wrap. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you. That's great. great hair, but I'm not finished, but that's it. Yeah. Look at me timer.
I thought she was done, honestly.
Somebody else might be autistic. See, whenever I was at school, being socially awkward made things very difficult, made things not fun. People are a lot more educated now and a lot more open-minded, so I didn't really know how to connect with other kids. And whenever I started school, I thought that they would teach you that stuff. So I thought you would go to maths, you would go to English, you would go to class on how to be human. And I was really good at the school stuff and really bad at the life stuff. So like times tables, no problem. Time laces, still can't do it. Creative writing, super easy. Making friends, not at all. And I hoped I'd fix those difficulties at school, but I didn't. And instead at school, they taught us the biggest load of useless stuff. I remember when I started French in secondary school, one of the first things they taught us to say was, "Ma maison est 3 étages," right? Which means my house has 3 stories. And I don't know where you guys are from or about here, but in the extremely working class town I'm from, nobody's house, if they had one, had 3 stories. So I thought I would expose all the useless stuff we learned in school. So Herb, we've got this, and then one more song, okay. Imagine me come over from Belfast to do one song. Oh, man. I'm like Beyonce. This is useless stuff they teach us in school. I can play 3 blind mice and recorder. I can list all the planets in order. I can say, où est la bibliothèque? Which means, where's the library in French? And I can do joined up writing, even though we have devices for typing. Was taught when not for drugs, I should say no. And how to make a paper mache volcano. But can I do my taxes? No, I can't. And I learned long division, cause my teacher made the decision that I'd never walk around with a calculator. But hey, with computers in our pockets every minute of the day, we did the odd sponsored silence, cause that's how you raise money for hunger and violence. We learned mitochondria's the powerhouse of the cell. I swear that is the phrase they'll use in hell. Pythagoras, he makes me sick. The sum of the square on the shorter sides of a triangle equal. That guy's a delightful genius. Lovely fella. We were told I comes before E, except if I is after C. But wake up, kids, cause that's a lie, made up by some random guy. We've got protein for and wait in vain, sovereign leisure, season feign. In all these words, the E comes first, which means what we learned is reversed. We've got either, neither, slight and height. They don't follow our EIC rule right. I swear they just make this stuff up to fill the time till 3 o'clock. And the weirdest word that breaks this rule is weird. And then there was sex education, which was ironically short in duration as we learned. Sorry, that was for the straight people. Let me do that again. Then there was sex education, which was ironically short in duration as we learned babies came from prayer, and girls should always exercise reasonable care to never seem too attractive, cause the boys can't help that their minds are active. So wear long skirts and high-necked clothes. I don't want to see your ankles or your sexy elbows. Then we learned the best way to have safe sex is not to have it at all. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you. Thank you very much to Herb for having me here and for everybody to be here today. It's been a brilliant day. I said earlier, people have always described me as different. And a couple of years ago, I found out that the reason for that was because I was actually autistic. So there were loads of signs as a kid, but back then, no one knew the signs. Some people didn't know that girls could be autistic. Some people didn't know adults could be autistic. Somebody said to me, but sure, you can only have autistic kids. And I was like, do you think at 18 you're just like, it's gone? I'm appropriate now. There's so many traits of autism in girls that people still don't know about. So, for example, when I was wee, if you're autistic, you're a lot less likely to conform socially. So that can come out in things like gender. So I dressed like a boy, still do. Played football, collected action men. Didn't play with them, but collected them passionately. I had social difficulties or differences. Didn't have friends. I really longed for a dog so I could have a friend that I wouldn't have to make small talk with. I have 2 dogs now, which is great. And I was really shy, and I would go mute at times. A lot of autistic people have disordered eating. My preferred menu was ornaments, cigarette butts. I ate through my bunk beds. I ate wallpaper off the walls. I ate anything except for actual food. So that's a condition that some autistic people have called pica. And then there's also things like a significant portion of autistic people have a very high IQ. So I was smart. And people always said I was gifted, and because I was so literal, I couldn't understand. I thought I was like a present. But I couldn't do really simple things. But I could do things like music. I could play music by ear from a very, very young child. Started writing songs when I was about 5, but couldn't figure out how to ask someone to play with me. And kind of enhanced musical ability is also something that's common in autistic people. And my siblings would always say to me, for somebody so smart, you're so stupid, right? They still say it to this day. But people who are autistic have a spiky profile, so you really, really enhance skills in some areas mixed with very delayed skills in other areas. So people started to say behind when I would do gigs, and they'd say to me, "Oh, my wee girl's autistic too," and I'd be like, "As well as who? What do you?" So this is before I had my assessment. "What do you mean? As well as who?" And people kept saying that to me, so I was like, "I'll get the hint," So I'm very intuitive. After about the 9th time, I was like, "There's something to that." So I was assessed and diagnosed pretty much as soon as I walked in. And it answered a lot of questions for me. But since I was diagnosed years ago now, I've noticed there are loads of stereotypes about what it means to be autistic. And I want to show people that you can be autistic and be a comedian. You can be social, you can be whatever. It's not all little boys who are obsessed with trains. I actually have I do like trains, but that's a coincidence. And I actually have an autism assistance dog, and he's good crack. But I bring him into coffee shops and stuff, and so many times people come up to me and they say, "You'll be very sad when you have to get rid of him." And I'm like, "Why? Where's he going?" And they're like, "When you have to give him to the wee poor disabled child." And I'm like, "I am the wee poor disabled child." And so many older people say to me, "You don't look like there's anything wrong with you." So there's a lot of stereotypes. I've written this song, so I'll finish with this. This is called Perfectly Autistic. Yes, I may look odd when at times I tick or twitch. If I had £1 for every time someone called me quirky, I'd be rich. But I'm focused and I'm factual, and I've got perfect pitch. So there's nothing I would chop or change or switch. And I might be pedantic and maybe I can be blunt, but that's just 'cause I'm autistic, not because I am a clueless, somewhat viewless person who is rude. I'm not trying to make a fuss about my clothes, my rules, my food. Oh, I'm perfect too. I've just a different point of view. Maybe I'm not like you, but that's okay, I'm me, that's cool. I'm not like your best friend's nephew. He's autistic too, and he screams when you go near him, and so that's the only view that you have of us all. And you didn't even know adults and girls can have it too. And I watch your mind explode, but you seem kind of normal. You say quite confused, "Oh, thanks awfully," I reply. You seem kind of normal too, but autism's not limited to little white boys with a strong preference for order and train-themed toys. I'm perfect too. I'm just a different point of view. Maybe I'm not like you, but that's okay, I'm me, that's cool. We're in the same ocean, but we're aboard different boats. Some of the things that make me sink pass right by you as you float. And if you saw the world through my unfiltered eyes, you'd see colors, sounds, and feelings massively magnified. And sometimes it's beautiful, sometimes it's too much, like a moth drawn to the flame, burnt out at the slightest touch. Yet at other times I fly high above their heads. I can recall every word anyone has ever said, and I can teach myself to play any instrument of choice. And I give people who are in need a strong, supportive voice. And I'm funny 'cause I've learned to watch the world go by. Not a nanometer of info gets past my eagle eye. And anything related to technology I can fix. I can estimate a building's age by looking at its bricks. And I'm social and I have friends. I walk my dogs on the weekends. I dance, I did, I drink. I'm just different in how I think. And I'm not weird or egotistic or another failed statistic. No, it's not behavioristic. I am very socialistic. I'm linguistic and logistic, altruistic, optimistic. No, everyone doesn't have characteristics. Oh, I'm perfectly autistic. Oh, I'm perfect too. I'm just a different point of view. Maybe I'm not like you, but that's okay, I'm me, that's cool. I'm Emer Maguire, thank you very much, thank you.
First off, apologies. It did seem quite short. So thank you for bearing with my rudeness as a host. Just a quick question. In terms of, for folks that want to follow you and follow your stuff, is our best place to do that?
Yeah, just Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I know Emer is a very unusual name for people here, but it's pretty easy. Yeah. So just I'm on all those things. So that's how my ma watches me anyway. So right. Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything next for you in terms of major projects or anything like that you're working? Anything next for you in terms of major projects or other things?
I'm working on just a tour that I have that's coming up. So great. I'm doing the biggest show that I've done so far in Belfast. We have a big venue called the Opera House, so I'm doing it, so I'm looking forward to it and starting.
When's that going to be?
It's November.
November,
so
fabulous.
Doing that and starting to do TV things and stuff, so yeah, it's very fun.
Emer, thank you so much.
Thank you, thanks Herb.
Cheers.
Thank you.